engine. You'll be proud of Ford's smartness wherever you go, and your ride will be smooth wherever you go. Test drive the 53 Ford.
Yes, you heard it right. The 53 Ford. Welcome back to Richard's Toy Room. Today we're going to begin on this Lindberg 1/25th scale plastic model kit of the 1953 Ford Victoria. Let's start with the instruction sheet. It is pretty much one page with two sides. This is actually the second side. It starts over here. It's a very nice model kit from what I can gather just looking at the parts count and the detail. Surprisingly, since I had such a bad experience with some of these Lindberg kits, as you would know if you watched my other two videos on these, the Cord and the 48 Lincoln. So as you can see, there's a lot of pieces in this engine here. And the chassis, really nice. Interior panels are separate. You got the dash, steering column, steering wheel, firewall. Got some interior engine compartment parts here. This is actually even more detailed than some I've seen. They actually even give you these parts to put on, which are usually molded in. You got the glass, the separate chrome strips, which is a nice feature also. It's don't have to paint or foil them. This should be a really nice kit. I've already picked out the colors for it. Not going to tell you what they are. I'm just going to surprise you when I'm done. There's the instructions. Here's the glass. Quite a few pieces of clear there. Nice. Here's the chrome tree. Very nice. A lot of nice detail in that. The chrome, very nice. I don't see any flaws in it. Sometimes it doesn't get good coverage, or it's pitted looking, or this looks really nice. And what's this? We got a little nice little decal sheet here. License plates and some emblems and instrument cluster, stuff like that. That should come out nice. And here's the tail lights. Look pretty decent. What else is here? Tires. Must be a spare tire or something for this kit. I didn't notice it on the instructions. Either that or they gave me a extra tire by mistake. These are the ones that take the white wall inserts. So I don't have to paint those or use decals, which I hate. Well, as you can see, there's like a zillion parts in this kit. I couldn't even fit them all in the frame of the camera. I mean, I could if I moved the camera, but I'm going to show you them anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So we'll just go through them one by one and see what we got here. Here's the seats and the interior. Here's all the exhaust and some engine parts, steering wheel, horns. Here's here's the white walls for the tires. Some engine parts, battery, chassis parts. Here's the, maybe that's where the spare tire is supposed to go, inside here. That would make sense, although it doesn't look like you can see it, so I'm not sure why. But anyway, I guess we'll figure that out when we build the kit. Dashboard, hood, some shocks, Got some suspension parts here. Looks like the top of the dashboard. A couple pieces I'm not immediately familiar with. Here's your interior panels, firewall, some miscellaneous. Must be something to do with the wheels. There's 4 of them. Here are your, I'm guessing those are the rims, because I didn't see them anywhere else. Oh, that's probably the back part of them, because the other ones are chrome. So here's your firewall, your engine, some, looks like spindles, some hoses, and then your chassis and your body. So this looks really nice. I'm looking forward to building this kit. Hopefully, if I can get a good paint job out of it, it will turn out really nice. So stay tuned. Right now, you're not going to see it in real time. Well, I mean, you'll see it in real time, but for me, it may be a month before I come back and shoot the end of this video, but to you, it'll be just a couple of seconds, so stay tuned. Okay. Well, I was going to do a progress update on this, but unfortunately, ran into a problem again with the paint. Brought it outside here, so hopefully I can get a good Can you see that? I don't know what the hell is going on. It's just primer. And I sanded and cleaned this roof. So now I don't know what I'm going to do. The body is done. And I just wanted to do this second color on the roof, and it started crackling. I hate painting. I just absolutely hate painting. So I'm going to go see what I can do with this and try priming it again, and hopefully that will hold. Well, I wanted to touch on something that I've always managed to leave out of my model videos, and that is what paints I actually used on each individual kit. And as I was using them, I set them off to the side together, so because usually I put them away after I'm done with them. So here's all the paints that I actually used during the building of this kit. So I used this Model Master Testers Bomber Green. It was on clearance at I think it was even cheaper than that. I think it was 89 cents at Hobby Lobby. That's actually a flat paint, so that's why I got the clear, and I glossed it up. I also used that paint on the interior of the car and glossed it up for because it's got different colored greens from what I picked. Speaking of green, I used this here gloss Hunter Green. All these front ones are Rust-Oleum paint. And I also used this gloss Ocean Mist. And then the primer I used is this flat gray primer. And then I used this satin ivory silk for the seats. And then I have this Krylon ivory gloss. I don't usually use Krylon anymore. I have had really bad luck with the Krylon, but I'm not going to throw it away, so I try to use it where I can. And then I've had this, I don't even know where I got this from, this Armor brand. This is flat black paint. that's not the original cap. That's why I wrote flat black on it, because it had a sticker on the cap that said what color it was. But, you know, until it's gone, I'm going to use it. I mean, it's, you know, what it is. And then I got a bunch of this semi-gloss black Rust-Oleum that I use. And again, I think this might be Walmart paint or something. This is a Color Place. This is silver they use for like the exhaust and stuff. And then finally, for the gloss black, I've got this old can, not old, but I got to use it up. Can of Krylon gloss black. So there you go. Those are all the paints that I used in this kit. I hope that helps anyone that's interested. As I was putting the paint back away after making this video, I realized that I gave you the wrong information on one of them. I did not use that Model Master green on this kit for the engine. I used the last of a can of, I don't remember exactly what color it was because I threw the can away because it was just a little bit of paint left in it. It was some kind of red, ruby red or something along the lines of that for the engine on the Ford. I used the green on the engine on the Studebaker that I'm doing next. So sorry about that confusion. Okay, so finally, here's the update. And this will be the last update on this, and the next time you see it, it will be the completed car. So as you can see, I did manage to fix that roof paint issue, and it came out beautiful actually. And I also got the chrome painted around all the windows and stuff with the Molotow chrome pen. And I did run into a little issue with these parts that you, the moldings that you glue on. I was trying to be careful with them, and I didn't want to use regular glue because it would have been kind of hard to, you know, dig down to the paint to make it stick right. So I tried using super glue. I bought this new super glue because if you see my other videos, you've seen that the super glue I think was getting old. I got this stuff at Hobby Lobby. It actually works really good. This is the thick version, but the problem is I messed up. You probably can't see it too well, but it does show at some angles. I dropped the part while I was trying to line it up into the groove, this back one here, and I got glue on the paint. Well, luckily it's not horrible. The other side I did just about the same thing. I kind of messed it up a little bit there too, but I got it in there and I didn't have it, I was sliding it down into the groove, and it started drying before I got it all the way in there, so I had to pull it up, and luckily it didn't break. And then so there was dry glue behind it, which made it a little too thick, so it kind of sticks out just a, a fraction of a millimeter more than the other side. But all in all, not bad. I haven't done these. They're next. That's what I got put on next. And then here's what I got left. I got this is the package tray in the back. These are the fender skirts, the moldings, the windows, and the mirror. That's all what's going on next. And here's all the parts that are left to put on after I got the decals and the bumpers, license plate, the mirrors, the door handles, the spotlights, the grill. I also have to touch the black parts up in this grill yet. I didn't do that. And the backup lights. And what else is that on there? Oh, the door handles. And here is the interior. Let me move it over here in the light a little better so you can get a better look, because you probably won't be able to see it well once I get the car done. But I actually did a lot of work in here. I did like a 3-tone on the interior with two different shades of green and the white, actually ivory. And here's the dash. The decals on this absolutely suck so far. You can't really see it too well, but the dash one, it broke on me, and then what I usually do is I go in with the this stuff here, the clear cement, that's what I glue in the windows and stuff with, and I'll put that over the gauges to make it look like it's got like a glass lens or plastic, whatever, over the dash components when it gets that far. And unfortunately, I mean, it looked good, but if you look real close in there, you can see that the decal separated and kind of floated in the liquid glue. It was like, oh, it was like just a nightmare. And here's the engine compartment. Maybe you can get a better look at it now. I did paint the engine red. I wasn't sure. It was kind of hard to tell what was, if it was supposed to be green or red. I saw both when I was researching. But, there's a lot of detail in there. You see like the water bottle, I painted like the inside of it blue. I didn't know where to put the horns. It showed the horns in the directions as going under the hood, but every picture I looked at trying to figure that out, I could not find them anywhere there. So I just put them right here on the fender well there. So anyway, and I'll show you the underneath too, as long as I'm at it. It's just easier before the car is all put together. See, I don't do a whole lot of detail underneath, but I like to do, I mean, as you can kind of see, like I painted the control arms more glossy, semi-gloss black than the other parts, which are more sort of flat, to give it the different, different parts kind of, because some of them do come in different types of paint. And then I just went over the gas tank with a acrylic metallic silver, what I usually use for that, because it's not as, I don't know, it just gives it just the right texture to me. And so anyway, like I said, next you see it, it will be done. And here we are with the final reveal of the finished model. I hope you enjoy it. I was going for a seafoam green. This was the best I could come up with from my choices at Home Depot with the Rust-Oleum paint. I mean, obviously I could have spent a lot more money and got exact mixed colors and all that jazz, but I decided to try to do as best I can with what's available, what I can find out there. So anyway, I apologize for this, what's going to be a little bit shaky camera, because I cannot find my iPhone camera clamp that goes on the tripod at the moment. I don't know where it is yet. I haven't come across it since I moved. And I usually use this here camera. I'll show you. This is the camera I use now for my videos, and it's really nice. And but when I shot this video for this 53 Ford, the preliminary parts with the kit review and all that, I used my iPhone. I didn't have that camera yet, and I didn't want to reshoot all that stuff, and I didn't want to shoot it with two different cameras. I wanted it to kind of have the same feel and sound all the way through. So I think there's one more video that I have, there might be a couple more that I shot video on the iPhone a couple years ago before I sold my other house. So there might be a couple more coming like that, but most of them I shoot, or all of them, all the new ones I shoot with that Canon camera. So anyway, so let's go over this as best we can, give you a good view of it, and then I will go over what I didn't like about the kit. Now, first of all, I do recommend this kit. This Lindberg kit, it's made in the USA, which is great. And as you saw in my other Lindberg videos, I was very hesitant about this kit until I opened it up and saw what a impressive kit it looked like it was going to be. And overall, it was, I'd probably give it about an 8 out of 10. It's approaching Mobius level to me, but not quite there. To me, Mobius ones are like the top of the line stuff now. But anyway, so like I said, I was trying to go for a seafoam green and then a dark green top, and then I showed you the interior earlier. I tried to copy like what I saw online of like kind of like a 3-tone with an ivory interior. This here part's kind of neat. I didn't realize this was almost done with the kit, but the license plate tilts back, and there's the gas cap underneath there. This is like an option that you could put on, and I'll show you that in a second. But it's like the real car, I guess. It just closes back up. That's kind of cool, little feature. As you can see the corner of the decal in the lower right. That's one of the things I hated about this kit. The decals suck. They like cracked and fall apart. For the most part, I thought they were trash. Now the other thing that really sucked about this kit was, for some reason, let's see if I can show you on the instructions here. As you can see the way the wheels are constructed here, they're not turnable, as in steerable, although I had, you could almost do it like that, but it would be a little difficult, like I tried to do on that other car, but it didn't quite work out because it wasn't intended to be that way. But you can see the way that they have the wheels constructed. I mean, this pop to here is pretty much normal, but then you got this like brake drum or whatever this is, backing plate, and then this little retainer that goes through. Then you glue that to the spindle, and theoretically, well, you glue this part to the back of the wheel. Now, normally in a lot of vehicles, they're not constructed that way, and this was very difficult to not glue this part inside here when you're gluing this to this. There's not a lot of room. I had to like shave it just to get it to like go flush together. That was a poorly designed. That's a poor design right there, and poorly engineered. And so I just decided to just glue the wheels in place. I usually like to have my models roll, but as you can see, I'm pushing and this won't go. I just glued them all into place with the hubcaps all facing all up. And those are decals as well. So those are nice decals because they add just that little bit of, you know, realism, like up here. Sorry, I'm trying to do this with the zoom in with the phone, but I have to actually zoom in like this. So you can see the little Victoria. Now that ridged part above, that was also part of the decal, but I would have had to shave that all off and put on there, and I didn't think that would have looked good. And it wasn't even molded very good in that spot. It was a little too fine detailing, I think, for some reason. I don't know exactly what was going on in the mold there. But so I decided to cut that part off and just use the Victoria part of the decal. And then here, this, I can get a good view of this for you. I don't know if you could tell because of the shine, but where it says Crestline, that's actually a decal over the raised detail. Now see if you can see if you get in closer. It's not exactly 100% lined up that great, but you know, from a little bit farther away, it gives that more realism look to it. Now they did give decals for these V8 here, but they were really like blurry kind of looking, and I didn't want to put them over that, so I attempted to paint those. So as you can see, I had a little bit of issues with that. So those are a couple of the things that really sucked about the kit that I didn't like. Let's see what else. Let me just show you this real quick. On that spare tire carrier, I just went very thinly around the edge with a black Sharpie, so it looked like it was a rubber gasket. And I saw that on pictures of the real car, so I thought that made it have just a little bit more realism there too. Oh, the other thing I hated about this model, and I actually had intended when I was building it to just plug the holes and not put them on, but these spotlights, I don't like them. I don't think they look good on the car. And I tried to put them in a down position. I don't like them facing up and out, because that's usually you only put them in that position when they're being utilized. I mean, there's a lot of detail in them, and you can see inside the handles, and they went to a lot of detail. This is a nice kit, don't get me wrong. I just don't think they look good on this car, and so I would have left them off. I mean, even the mirrors are 2 pieces. Very nice detail on this kit. So here's the front. Oh, one thing that I did do by mistake, these parts here, these little angled parts just between the headlight and this middle grill bar right there, they're supposed to be body color. That's supposed to be the body you see behind there. But I really didn't want to dig out the spray paint and spray it and get it with a paintbrush and paint it in there. And it was just kind of, I just didn't have the energy to do it. I don't think anybody really noticed unless I just pointed it out. I mean, it just kind of looks like it's, blacked out. And I just did it with some same paint I used for these grill bars. Acrylic paints that you get from like Walmart. Again, here's a decal for the front hood. Nice detailed hood ornament there. I'll get this hood open so you can see the engine. Now this, I've seen both engines green and red on this. Oh, I went with red because I had a little bit of the red spray paint left in that one tester's can. Again, a lot of detail in here. Little decals. It makes it look really nice. One other thing on this kit that they did, they gave you see here, single exhaust. They gave you dual exhaust, but they didn't give you a way to use dual exhaust because they only gave you manifolds that would work with the way this is hooked up. And obviously you couldn't use it with another engine, which they didn't give you anyway. But and it must have been from another kit, because there was some extra parts in there that I couldn't even figure out where the heck they would have went. They didn't show up anywhere in the manual. So basically that's about it. And like I said, I recommend this kit. I have another one that's a convertible that I'll be doing at some point. It's I believe it's an AMT version, and I don't know if it's going to be comparable or if it'll be better or worse than this kit, but it's definitely a rewarding kit to build, and again, I highly recommend it. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more videos. Subscribe if you haven't, and we'll see you again soon.